So today I just want to talk about this because this has been in my heart this week because I was watching videos about atheists arguing with Christians and Christians arguing with atheists, and I feel like I gotta say something about this because I saw those videos and I don't know what can I take from this. I asked myself that, right? I asked can I learn anything from this? Can I get anything from this? Is my faith growing from this? Am I getting closer to God from this? And I asked these questions, and the thing I noticed is that I am not getting closer to God. It's not helping me to get closer to God. It's not doing anything. It's just putting more confusion. It's putting doubt in your hearts. When you're arguing with two people, you're listening to two different arguments. Like the other guy is saying this, the other guy is saying this, the other guy is saying this. But this is the truth. I believe God exists. There's no reason to not believe that God doesn't exist because we see everything that God created. And if you believe that everything that you see came out of nowhere, it just came from nothingness, it doesn't make any sense. It's common sense that there is a God. It's just common sense. There is no argument there. I believe that there is God, so I don't need to argue. So the point I'm trying to make is this, guys. What I'm trying to say is that there is no reason for you to argue with atheists because it doesn't bring anything. It doesn't have any values. It doesn't accomplish anything. Because why are you arguing about something that you believe exists? Do you argue like water exists? Do you argue like, oh, this exists, that exists? Do you argue like with the things that you see? Do you argue like, oh, no, that doesn't exist, man? You don't argue that. That means you believe, right? You see it, you believe it. So if you believe in God, it's the same thing. I believe that we don't need to prove anything. You tell them the gospel, you speak the truth. This is what I believe to be the truth. And if you don't believe it, man, I don't have nothing to do. I can't do anything. I can't force you to come. But if you get convicted to believe in God, you can believe in God. So this is why I believe like most Christians, I know you're arguing, you're trying to get them to God. I understand that. But there is no meaning in that. The other person, the craziest thing, man, if you watch videos, both sides, if there is an argument, you know what? One is trying to prove that God exists, even though he knows that God exists. And the other one, he's trying to prove that God doesn't exist. He's preparing to prove that God doesn't exist. If somebody doesn't have an open heart, if he doesn't want to believe in God, if he's preparing himself to prove that God doesn't exist, you think that person is going to come to God? Do you think that person is going to be like, oh, me, this makes sense now, I'm going to come to God? He is coming to win an argument. So that's why I believe like most people are like, you're wasting your time with atheists. I respect atheists. I try to tell them the gospel. I have experience arguing with atheists. And it doesn't do anything because they're trying to prove that God doesn't exist. It's okay to argue with Muslims. It's okay to argue with other religions. At least they believe there is God. They believe that there is a creator of all these things. But atheists, if they say there is no God, man, you gotta leave. You have no argument. You just say, I pray for you, man. You don't gotta explain anything. But tell them the gospel. Speak the truth. And if that doesn't convict them to, if they start arguing with you about this, don't waste your time, man. My job is to tell you. My job is to tell the truth. It's up to you to believe this truth. But if you don't want to believe in it, I'm not going to try to explain that to you. I believe this to be true. So that's what I'm trying to do. And one of the things I want to add up. Most Christians are so obsessed with famous people coming to Christianity. And it never goes well, man. It never goes well. It doesn't matter this is what you need to understand. Just a random person coming to God and famous person coming to God, it's the same thing. There is no difference. Please understand this truth, man. There is no difference. God, there is what? There is joy in heaven for both of them, the same way. There is no difference. Please understand that. And don't be so hyped because somebody famous came to God. We don't understand anything. We don't understand what is happening in their heart. Are they actually convicted to come to God? Or are they just lying? Or are they just saying things? We don't know that. Yes, be happy when they come to become a Christian. So, be happy, be grateful, be thankful that somebody came to God, that they are being saved. And that's you should be happy for just a random person coming to God. The same way that you are happy about fame. You shouldn't see any difference. People are so focused. Oh, this guy is coming to Christ. So, yes, be happy about it. But what I'm trying to say is, don't be excited more than just regular coming to God. There is no difference in that. I believe there is no difference. Please understand this truth. I'm saying this because most Christians are doing that. They're saying, go famous guy, baby. I don't care, man. It doesn't matter who it is. Respect everyone the same way. Respect just normal person the same way. The Bible says that a fool says in his heart, there is no God. So there is no, you can't, so like, you can try to prove God to, you see, God, the Bible says that God is a spirit, worship him in the spirit. So it's not even about, you can't see God, you can't prove God, you can't show God to people. But if they are touched by the Spirit, if they are convicted by the Spirit, they can come to God. And if somebody comes to God because somebody famous came to God, that guy is not Christian, man. If he is not convicted by the works of Christ, by the blood of Christ, if he is not convicted by that, that guy is not Christian, guys. Please understand that. And that's what I want to say. Respect to you all. Thank you for listening. I hope you like the video. Have a good one. Peace out.